Hello again, Carol.
Hi, teacher, again.
Carol.
Yes.
I'm going to write here the name of the family that sued the government of the state of São Paulo. If you want to check, maybe you can discover more info. Yes, I think it's going to be something like, well, in English, the name is Piles, but it's going to be something like, in Portuguese, they would say Piles versus the government of São Paulo. Can you see there?
Yes, sure.
The name of the family was Piles in Portuguese, but in English they used to, she would always say her name was Piles.
I will search this. I am curious about
yes.
this. Yeah.
As far as I can remember, she received that big Mega Sena accumulated jackpot, okay?
Very good.
Then, she left Brazil at the same night.
Yes.
She was afraid of being kidnapped or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the newspapers would publish the sentence the next day, understand? So her lawyer called her and said it would be good to stay away or to be, I don't know. Okay, so the next day in the morning, she left Brazil. I have even searched for her in the media, like Facebook and other places like that, but I couldn't find.
Okay? Yes, I tried find something.
Then tomorrow you let me know if you can discover.
Okay.
But as far as I can remember, it was a big jackpot. Okay.
Jackpot.
Yes. Okay. Like when the Mega Sena accumulates for a few weeks, we call it a jackpot. Okay. Hi, Wagner. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Is everything fine over there?
Yes, fine. Just at home, as always.
As usual?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So am I. Okay. So we are in the same boat. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start. Let's try to finish yesterday's class. I don't know if you had a chance to read the material, but since it is probably one of the most, let's say, discussed topics nowadays, I even found one more article about it, okay, with all the pros and cons, okay? So let me see, this is 32. We stopped somewhere around...
I think that we disadvantages of telecommuting.
We have already started.
Yeah. I think we stopped there.
About security problems, lack of oversight, everything?
The advantages, I believe, yes. Do you remember, Wagner? Do you remember?
If I see the text, may I remember, but...
I'm not sharing it? Okay, let me share.
No.
Yeah, I click here, but sometimes it doesn't share. Can you see it now?
Oh, yes. Now it's good.
Yes. Okay, so I think yesterday we only talked about the advantages.
Yes,
we didn't go into the disadvantages or the cons, okay? In English, sometimes they say the pros and the cons, okay?
I see.
So why don't we start, since Wagner was the first one to arrive. Wagner, you can start.
Yes, of course. Disadvantages of telecommuting. But while telecommuting programs have been highly successful for many businesses of all shapes, sizes, and industry orientations, there are potential pitfalls associated with them. Commonly cited drawbacks include the following.
Okay, cited.
Oh, okay, cited.
Drawbacks.
Okay. Lack of oversight, direct supervision of teleworkers is not possible.
Okay, direct, just a moment. Direct is okay with me because that's how they say it in England. In the United States, they would say direct. Okay?
Oh, I
That's
say
one of,
direct.
yeah, that's one of the differences between British English and American English. British always say
Mhm.
directions, directory, and America say direct or directions, okay? So both are okay, but nobody says supervision, it's supervision, okay?
Yes.
You
I see.
say, he is my supervisor, but we are under strict supervision,
Supervision.
okay?
My bad.
No problem, okay?
May I
Any
continue?
other, yes, you can read one more part. Diminished productivity.
Mhm. Diminished productivity. Some people are unable to be productive in at-home work settings, either because of family distraction of their unlimited capacity to focus on tasks when more pleasurable activities, bicycling, gardening, watching television, and etc., beckon,
Back on. Yes,
beckon,
back on.
beckon.
Yes, that means they can't focus because there are other more interesting activities to do. Understand? So they just
Mhm,
say, "Oh, I'll stop for like 10 minutes to see what's going on in the news." And time
mhm,
flies very fast when they realize it's being an hour away from work. That's not the
mhm.
case with our Baiano, right, Marcos, who never stops working to
Mark is
talk to
not
his
here
crush.
today.
I'm here.
He's not here.
I'm
He's
Oh,
here.
here.
hey,
Yeah. The guy
No,
is
I
welcome
late,
back.
but he's always here. Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Marcos.
I got
So
a
this is not a problem with Marcus, okay? So he doesn't diminish his productivity by working at home. He focuses in his work, right, Marcus?
yeah, it's true.
Okay. So do you
Diminish
have
means minus.
decrease,
Accent. Okay,
minus?
decrease.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Is there any other problem? Understand there are potential pitfalls. Understand the word here,
No,
pitfall.
what means
No.
this, teacher?
I remember when I was a little bit younger, there was a very
Some days
interesting,
ago.
yes, a few years ago, okay, there was a very interesting game in my Atari system,
Oh my
okay,
gosh,
that,
teacher.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not
Atari
too old.
from
I
the
don't
best.
remember this.
yeah, my children had the chance to have a PlayStation, but I had an Atari, okay. So anyway, there was a famous game called Pitfall, in which you would run in a jungle and sometimes you had to jump over a pitfall or you would fall inside and get killed. Okay, so a pitfall is like a trap. Understand a trap?
Okay.
Yes, there are potential traps or pitfalls associated with them. Understand?
Hmm.
And these commonly cited drawbacks include the following: lack,
And
lack means an absence. Okay,
Hmm.
all right. You can say lack of everything. Okay, like I mean, I have a terrible lack of time to do that, okay? Or due to this COVID-19 pandemics, I am in a serious lack of money, okay? Like
Me
most
too.
people in Brazil. Yes,
mm,
understand? That's a lack, okay? Any other question about this part or
oh,
no?
teacher, back on, you told that about this, but I can understand what it means back on. I know back on when um you send a gesto. I don't know if it's okay in English with your hands for other person, but in this sense, I don't know what means that.
The idea here is to say on more pleasurable activities back on. That means that they have to do instead of working. And the guy even included in
Mm,
parentheses some of the activities, understand? Because if you are at home, you can be distracted by children. If you have children, you can be
mm-hmm.
distracted by your husband or by
Ah,
your
okay.
wife, understand? So
Yeah.
there are a lot of activities which might get you distracted, like
Mm-hmm.
bicycling, gardening, watching TV. Okay, so if you just
Okay.
omit the parentheses, see, or tasks when more pleasurable activities back on. That means are available for you. Understand?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good. Marcos, since you are an electrical engineer, can you read the next part in terms of security problems?
Okay, security problems. The remote access needs of telecommuters and the other mobile staff create a
Staff.
whole staff create a whole insecurity walls with every connection. Cautioned Kevin McKinley in Providence Business News. Producers should be implement.
Procedures.
Oh yeah,
Procedures
procedures should be
should be implemented
implemented to allow employing access while keeping out unwanted intruders. This includes periodically updated password protection and inform employees concerning the need for remote access security.
Okay. Any problem about this or no?
No,
No problem, Wagner,
Mm.
Carol?
Okay.
no.
Carol, what in terms of isolation?
Isolation. The freedom of working alone comes with a price. The burden of solitude. Commented one
Solitude,
executive.
yes.
Solitude. Commented one executive in association management. We all have wished for days where people would just leave us alone. And with telework, we get,
Just a moment.
okay, our wish in spades. Spades, it's okay?
Spades, yes. Just
Okay.
like in a card game in spades.
Okay.
Okay.
Partial teleworking arrangements in which the employee spends a portion of each week, 3 days, in the office and the remainder working from home can sometimes be an effective means of addressing this problem.
Okay. So this is probably one of the, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems. If you work at home, you will be totally isolated from the people at work. So there is no more chatting, no more small talks, understand? So some people might miss this, understand? That's why they say here that we all have wished for days where people would just leave us alone. And with telework, our wish came true, but in spades, because you are free now, you're not going to have any interruption, but you are totally alone, understand? So
Yeah.
that came as a solution, but at the same time, it's a little different, okay? So a solution to this would be partial teleworking, okay? That means working 1 or 2 or 3 days in the office and the rest at home, okay? I don't know if that would help. But speaking of telecommuting, I read today that, what is the name of Twitter has decided that most of their employees will probably never return to their office. They will continue working from home even after the pandemic is over. Understand?
Yeah.
They decided that they are doing a good job at home. Understand? So there is no need to return to their office inside of Twitter. Okay?
I'm afraid that this happens with my company too.
Yes?
Because there are save a lot of money with us working at home.
Yeah,
maybe
probably
they-
drank too much coffee, you know?
I think it's more the paper. We spend a lot of paper, print the things, print the projects, and this kind of thing.
Yes, and at home, do you print everything or no?
No, I didn't print
You
in
see?
the job. Imagine at home.
You see? So that means that it was unnecessary printing all the documents, understand? We
Yeah.
just do that to be
totally
able
agree.
to check better, understand? But it's in your computer, okay? Now, erosion of company culture and or department morale. Wagner, can you read that part?
Yes.
This is
Continuing.
an interesting part.
Many businesses include certain employees who have a major positive impact on the prevailing office environment. When these employees enter into telecommuting programs, their absence is often deeply left by the staffs the staff members left behind. In some cases, this departure from the company's everyday operations can even have a
Literals.
deleterious
No, the literals
deleterious effect
affect
on the operations of a whole culture.
overall culture. Okay, let's understand this. Imagine there is a guy who is a great worker, but the guy is always making funny jokes or is always playing around. And that was good to keep the company's morale high. Understand? Like everyone was kind of in a good vibe because he was around, making fun or just telling jokes. Okay. And then they simply sent this guy to work at home. The ones that didn't have a chance to work at home, they started missing this. Understand? So that's what they mean here. Certain employees who have a major positive impact on the prevailing office environment. So by not being there, everybody misses them. Understand? And that decreases the morale of the company. Okay?
And the other hand, you have the other type of employees that the company
they drive everyone
bad
crazy. Yes,
yes,
they drive
yes.
everyone crazy. Of course, you have both sides, okay, of the coin. Okay.
I believe they can increase the mind sickness, you know, because there's someone that which cannot stay alone. They feel depressed, you know.
Yes, I understand.
A lot of people will go into hospital, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there is an interesting point here. Maybe Carol can read for us. Loss of brainstorming ability. Okay? Because when you are working at home, there is no more brainstorming. Okay? You don't do, at least, I have never seen people doing a brainstorm online. Have you ever seen that, Wagner or Marcos or even Carol?
Yeah.
Actually, we have some trainings, you know, but not every day, not every, because when you work face to face, if you have a doubt, you can check online. Hey, please help me. I had a doubt with this, with that, and then you got a little brainstorm from your boss, for example. I believe if you work at home, it's not be possible in that way, you know.
Yeah, it's not possible, I think, to call like 5 or 6 or 10 people to discuss a matter. Understand? Something that you could do in an office. Okay? Maybe
yes.
as you said, you call your boss, you call a friend. Okay, but that's going to be just sharing experience. Understand? It's not the point when you just write something on the board and you have everyone brainstorming that. Understand?
But
So
maybe
people lose. Yes, Marcos.
But maybe with the apps like the Zoom or Microsoft Teams, we can make a reunion with the other colleagues with a web camera, microphone, and discuss about a lot of things. Maybe
Have you ever
with
done that?
Not these days.
You see,
I
that's
think
what I'm saying.
I think this is possible, but the frequency, I believe that is smaller because you don't call to the person to talking about something or giving your opinion, or when you stay together, it's natural happens. Now you need to call or you need to do a meeting with Zoom or with other apps about it. Yes. So it's not natural. When you share the space, is more natural.
Yes, what I would like to add is that since everyone is working at home, you can make your own hours. Understand? So I don't have, for example, to start working at 8. I can start working at 9 or 10. I just have a certain task to be fulfilled. So imagine, Marcos, you want to have a brainstorm about a certain problem you're having, and then you call everyone but 1 or 2 engineers from your team. They're not working at that moment, understand? So it's not the same when you are in an office, understand? Everyone is supposed to punch the card and start working at the same time, understand?
Yes.
Okay, so Carol, can you read this?
Yes, given that much of the value added to the production process in Western
Production.
production uh, process in Western economies, it at the knowledge end of the spectrum. The dispersal of brands could be a problem, wrote Richard Thomas in Management Today. The informal bossing, it's okay?
Bouncing.
Bouncing around of ideas is difficult or even impossible without the face-to-face contact of a shared workplace.
Mm,
Okay.
what
Yeah,
is bouncing?
So
I don't know.
bouncing. Yes. This is when something goes and comes back. It bounces back, like doing, 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 bouncing.
Mhm.
Understand? You
Okay.
can do this with a basketball. Understand? Like pa 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 pa. Or you can do this with a check. When you write a check, the check goes to your bank to be cleared, but you have insufficient funds. Then the check bounces. Okay, it's a bouncing check. Okay,
Okay.
understand the idea?
Mm,
Mhm.
Of course, not many people use write checks nowadays, but when a check is returned for insufficient funds, the name is a bouncing check. Okay, when they're returned. Okay,
okay,
Mhm.
bouncing. Bouncing.
another question or no?
No.
Mhm.
No,
No. Okay, so one more disadvantage is the perceived damage to career. I don't know if it's Marcos or Wagner again.
It's
Mm,
Marcus.
I think it's me again.
Marcos, it's your turn. Go ahead.
A common perception among employees of businesses that embrace teleworking options is that telecommuters are placed at a disadvantage in terms of career advancement and opportunity. Certainly, some professional venues, such as supervisors' positions, may be shut off to workers who want to continue telecommuting, but employers should make every effort to avoid an out of sight or out of mind perspective from taking shape.
Okay. I think, I don't know if you have ever heard this expression in English, out of sight, out of mind. This is a very common idiom used in English. Can you
no.
understand the idea of it?
Yes.
Yes. Can you explain to them, Wagner?
Out of sight. How can I explain this? Is if you have to focus something, if you lost this focus, you out of sight. I believe this. I don't know if I can explain like this. You know.
Yes, but I think you can add something.
But
Okay.
this is your turn.
Thanks
Nice
for passing the
boy.
ball. Thanks for passing the ball. So, what is the idea? Okay, in Portuguese, we do have a similar expression. That means what your eyes can't see, your mind cannot process. Understand?
Mhm,
Mm.
mhm.
So,
Yeah.
that's how they say it in English. Out of sight, that means, as Wagner explained, you can't see it, so you don't think about it. Understand? So, that means
Mhm.
if you're not in the job, understand, if you're not working there showing your progress, on a day-to-day basis, your boss might not notice how good you are doing your job, how well you're doing your job, understand, or how
Yeah.
good of an employee you are. So that's why
And
you see,
people forget
telecommuters.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
certain telecommuters are placed at a disadvantage in terms of career advancement and opportunity because you're not there. So, but the employer should make every effort to avoid this, understand? Even though you're not in the office, if you are doing a great job, you should be able to get a promotion in case there is a place for you. Okay? All right.
Teacher,
Legal. Yes.
uh, what means taking shape? I know if you are on workout, I know, but in this expression, what it means taking shape?
To be formed.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's
they
what
should make
I
every
thought.
effort to avoid an out of sight, out of mind perspective from taking shape, from being
Hmm.
developed, from being created.
Oh,
Okay,
I see. Hmm.
that's the idea. Okay, legal vulnerability. Wagner, is it Wagner now? Can you read
Yes,
this?
my
And
turn. Mhm.
Your turn. Go ahead.
Yes. Some analysts have expressed concern that some employer liability issues regarding telecommuting practices have yet to be completely settled.
Settled. Yes.
Settled. They cite,
They cite. They
oh,
cite.
they cite
Citation. They
issues.
cite issues.
They cite issues such as employer liability for home office accidents under common law, applicability of the employer's insurance coverage when they work at home, and responsibility for equipment located in home as particular concern.
Okay, this should be probably Carol's part, okay, because it's about legal vulnerability.
oh
You
my
see, if
gosh.
you are working, no, Carol, it's true. As a lawyer point of view, you can see
Yes,
what
yes,
happened.
yes.
If you are working, like Wagner, for example, or Marcus, if they have to work on the floor, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
something happens, like you have an accident, you step on some slippery area and you end up falling and hurting yourself. Whose liability is that? The company's,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah, the
So,
companies have a big concern about this, the labor health, and I don't know the name in English, ergonomia. And
I told you it's
I,
ergonomics. Yes,
yes,
ergonomics.
it's true.
Yeah.
Ergonomics,
It's
yes.
Yeah.
Ergonomics. Yes, the companies have a, a real worry about this. Yes, because it's difficult. You need prove, and
How,
in this
yeah.
case, yes,
If you are
depends of the
working at home,
yes,
yeah,
exactly. How can I prove that? It's difficult. It's a difficult point
yes,
to the companies and to the employees,
employee, yes, you're
employee.
right. Yes.
Like
Okay, like
if I
when you are,
suffer,
what's that, Marcus? Can you say it again, please?
no, like if I suffer some accident at my house, the company has to cover me. The insurance cover
They
me.
should, yes, they should cover you, but that's exactly the point. That's what they are discussing here, understand? They might even try to go into justice to see if they are liable
Yes,
or not.
yes, it's difficult because if you stay in your desk working and you have some problem, you felt to your share. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
okay, but if you washing the
The
your
dishes.
yes the dishes, or you washing the bathroom and you felt it's not
You fell down.
yes you fell down, it's not responsibility of the company, the liability of the company, so it's
Yeah.
difficult.
It's difficult to be proved. Yes,
Yes,
understand?
exactly. Yes,
That's
exactly.
why we have some legal vulnerability. Understand?
Yeah.
If you have an accident, any kind of accident at work, or even on the way to work, okay, like if you're driving or commuting by bus, or even if you're biking, understand? Then it is company's liability, okay?
Teacher,
Because you're
nowadays no.
no, really?
No, because you have a change in the labor laws, and nowadays the commuting to come back to the company is not liability of the company anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
Yes,
Oh,
I heard about
thanks
this too.
for sharing this information because as
yes,
far as I could remember, once I think it happened here in the south of Minas. I think like 6 or 7 employees from Mali. It's a big multinational, a German multinational. They make a piston, for cars. They
Mm.
were going to work. They were going downhill. It was a very foggy morning. And what happened? During the night, it had rained a lot, opened a crater, a big hole in the
My God.
street. And one after the other, pew, 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 just fell into the hole. And they got seriously hurt. At the time, I remember the company was liable for all their recovery because they were going to work. Understand? So as Carol said, now it's not their problem anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, teacher, but this is it's difficult to explain that in English, but this is of course depend, because if the company provide the transportation, it's the company is liability for this. But it's not a Pacific. It's okay, Pacific in this sense. Pacific understanding of the judges. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can have another
Passive understand, maybe.
passive. Yeah.
Pacific is the ocean, okay? Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
A
Passive.
passive or,
Yes.
yes, maybe that's more appropriate.
Yeah. Sometimes we have decisions in different ways about this.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think if you have to go out of your job because of the job, for example, have to go to another, you work in
A meeting
company,
outside,
yeah,
a meeting
go to a
outside,
meet
or
outside your job, or
Yeah. In this case,
meet some client.
the company is liability. Yeah.
Yeah,
is liable.
It's liable. Yeah.
it is liable.
Yes. Okay. So just to finish this part, let's see how it's possible to institute a telecommuting program. What would be necessary to do that? Understand? Who's going to read it now? Is it Carol? I think it's Carol. Expert
You know, it's
site.
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Expert cite several key elements in creating and maintaining a successful telecommuting policy in your business. First, business owners and or managers should make sure that such a program will actually benefit their company's ability to efficiently address its various operational needs. For example, some positions require an extensive on-site presence. These range from management positions to those in which face-to-face
Communication.
communication with clients or other members of the workforce is imperative. Consult,
Consultant.
consultants urge employers to consider telecommuting proposal on a position-by-position basis rather than adopting one-size-fits-all parameters. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
parameters. Yeah,
No,
parameters.
parameters. Okay. Yes. Understand this expression here, rather than adopting a one-size-fits-all parameters. That means every position has to be analyzed, okay, isolated. They cannot simply say, from tomorrow on, everyone starts working at home, like one size fits all, because everyone has a different environment at home. Marcos, for example, could say, I don't have an appropriate computer at home.
Yeah.
So how am I going to?
One.
Yes.
I need a new one.
I remember that in Europe, company was loaning money for the employees to equip themselves, understand? So they could work from home properly. But here in Brazil,
to buy a notebook, to buy a laptop,
yes,
to buy a comfortable chair, a desk.
Comfortable chairs, a notebook, even to get access to a faster internet connection, understand? Because you know that your connection depends, okay? So company provided that, okay? So it's not possible simply to say from tomorrow on, everybody starts working from home. It's just like here, closing all the schools and say, no, but classes are available online. What about the students that don't have even a computer or access to the internet at home?
Yeah.
Like today, I also read about this. Many poor students are complaining how they can be prepared to take the ENEM, the national exam. Yes.
It is so crazy. Like,
have you heard about the
oh my gosh,
Secretary of Education.
I haven't heard or read anything. What did he say about that, Wagner?
About Enem. He said
Yeah.
some people said that we must cancel Enem this year because some students don't have time to study to attend the test, you know. And he said, no, you can study at home with your computer. But as you said,
That,
a lot
that's
of people
exactly
are
the
poor.
point.
They
Yeah,
don't
that's
have computer
exactly
at
the
home.
point. Yeah, that's what I read. You know, many people were protesting because they would be at a serious disadvantage. You know, they don't have
Yes.
access to the internet, they don't have access to a computer. How are
And
they
I
going to
think
have online classes to prepare?
and I
You
think they
know,
don't have it to you don't have it to ambient to study
the
to
environment.
the environment. Sorry, thank you. The environment
Yes,
to study to do this
yes,
the name
to
because
prepare for the
we are
national
living
exam.
a pandemic situation. Like you cannot focus the same time to study and to worry about if our father or our mother you take this deal or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's a difficult situation. Uh, in my opinion, they should postpone everything, understand, until the
Mm-hmm.
situation is kind of clear. But who knows? Go figure what's happening in Brazil, okay?
Yeah.
So, Wagner, can you read another paragraph for us? We're almost finishing this.
For sure. Companies should also conduct extensive research before buying and implementing new technologies necessary to institute a telecommuting program. Information technologies personnel can be particularly useful in shaping program policies and anticipating remote workplace needs of teleworkers. In addition, you should consider the impact of telecommuting on other departments, both in terms of operational efficiency and
Morale, morale.
morale.
You have the word moral, moral lesson, and you have the word morale, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Two words exist in English. They
The
coexist
same
in English.
meaning?
The idea is very similar, yes.
Mm.
But usually you say a moral lesson. Moral is like an adjective, and morale is like a noun. Understand?
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Now, any problem about this or no? You see, shaping program is the same again, Wagner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see, the IT guys can be particularly useful in shaping, you know, in
Yes.
developing, okay, a
In
program.
that
That's
in
why,
that case, in that case, I had idea, but I had some mistakes, and that's why I asked you.
no problem.
But
You can
but
ask
I
me
but
whatever
I.
you want, okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, any problem or no?
No.
Marcos, can you read one more?
Yeah. Business owners should draft specific guidelines and policies for any telecommuting program. These policies may delineate,
Delineate.
thank you, report guidelines, delivery schedules for completing and submitting work, select hours during which employee guarantees availability,
Availability,
employee performance evaluation
criteria,
criteria, and telecommuting work option evaluation criteria.
criteria.
Once such a program has been put in place, it's essential that it be actively monitored.
Monitored.
monitored. Analysts urge business owners and managers to maintain open lines of communication with teleworkers so that problems can be addressed in a timely manner.
Yes. Any problem about this part or no?
Mm.
Urge.
Mm.
Urge is when you
Yes.
implore, you know, like that is the verb from urgent. If it's an urgent thing, somebody's urging you to do that. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like beg, ask very hard. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Analysts urge business owners and managers to maintain open lines of communication. Okay, so you can solve any problem in a timely manner, in an appropriate time. Okay, promptly. Okay. Another question or no?
No.
Carol, can you read the last paragraph?
Yes. Finally, business owners and managers need to recognize that some employees are better suited than others, suited than others should thrive in a telecommuting program. Prospective works should be self-motivated, self-disciplined, and possessed of good problem-solving skills and communicating skills, both written and verbal. They should also have a home environment which will enable them to maintain or exceed the levels of productive they attain in office settings.
Yes. Attain. Okay. Any problem about this last part or no? This is exactly what I told you. Yes, go ahead.
I have, when you say suited, then others to thrive.
To thrive.
To thrive. Thank you.
Yes. Suited means adapted. Some employees are better suited. They are better adapted than others to thrive, to, let's say, to face, to fight, okay, in a telecommunication program, okay? Thriving, okay?
You're just driving.
Yeah, it's not the same, believe me, okay? Yes, but the idea is that some people adapt themselves very well to telecommuting, while others can't, understand? They are not self-disciplined, like Marcos here, okay? They would probably spend most of the time calling their crush instead of working during the day. Okay, Max?
No, it's not.
No, not you. That's what I said.
Okay.
Come on, man. I said that you are very self-disciplined because you told us that you don't use your working time to call your crush.
Yeah,
but
the lunchtime or the night.
Yes, you see, this is self-discipline. You know that you are working, understand? But do you think everyone is like that?
I don't know.
Of course not.
That's exactly the point here, understand? And the most important, in my opinion, is the last paragraph. They should also have a home environment which will enable them to maintain or even to exceed the levels of productivity they can get in an office setting. So imagine that you live in a one-room house with a family of 5 children, for example.
Oh my gosh.
And then the only place you have to work is in the kitchen table with the children running around, understand? With your mother cooking. How can you be successful in telecommuting? It's not possible, understand? You don't have the proper environment to do that. Understand my point?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have any further question about this, I make sure I included here the reference for business where I got this article. So you can click on the link and you can get further additional info. But as I said, this is if you read the news today, as I told you, Twitter has decided to let everyone telecommute, okay? Even after the pandemic is over. So this is the topic of the moment. Everybody's talking about this. I just found another article, okay, that I will ask you to try to pre-read it. Telecommuting, the pros and cons and risks of working from home. So practically it's the same. You will find out that it's similar, but it's a recent study by the Stanford University, okay? So if you have some time, I'd like you to start reading this, okay? And then tomorrow we can discuss it, okay?
Okay.
Very interesting. There are some examples, like a Chinese travel agency. Can you see my screen or no? I have not shared.
No, no,
No?
no.
No, it's
So
Just the
let me,
last one.
okay, so let me share this new one. Okay. For example, there are some examples. Can you see it now?
Ah,
yeah.
yes, now
Yes.
yes.
You see, in this study conducted by Stanford, they examined a Chinese travel agency, and they found that the company saved an annual average of about $2,000 per employee who worked remotely. Understand? So
Mhm.
imagine if they have 1,000 employees, how much money they are going to save. Okay?
Yes.
And this talks about some of the things we have already mentioned. You see, this is because telecommuting reduces expense across the board, from real estate, building maintenance, security, furniture, office supplies, and other expenses. Understand?
Hmm.
All right. Good.
Right.
We'll be back on this topic, and then I'm going to talk to see your opinion about it tomorrow. Okay?
Okay,
I hope you
thank
guys
you.
have a great
See
evening, and I'll
you
see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
And
Bye
if
bye,
you
everyone.
discover anything about my friend Carol, let me know, okay?
Yes, I search about this, teacher.
Yes. Then you let me know
Okay.
tomorrow, okay? See you guys.
Yes.
Have a great
See
evening.
you. Thank
Good
you.
night for
Thank
Bye
you.
bye-bye
bye.
now.
See you. For you
See ya.
too.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.